Right, so direct addressing operand is the address of the data. So I'm not looking at the question yet. I'm just saying, right, okay, they're asking me about addressing modes. Let me remember what addressing modes. Right, another one is immediate. So immediate is where the operand is the data. So if we have LDA4, we mean the number 4 in that case. So is the data. The third one is indirect. So indirect is the operand is an address where we will find the address. So the operand is the address of the address of the data. Used when we're doing interrupts and things, that is, and device drivers and stuff. Sometimes called vectored addressing because you're basically saying look it up somewhere else. It's a lookup, basically. We use that a lot when we're assembly language programming, lookup tables and things. So the operand is the address of the address. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. The address of the data. So it's a redirection, which is why it's called indirect. And then the final one that we have to know about is indexed, where the operand is, and how this is literally interpreted and implemented in different CPUs is different, but as far as we're concerned, the operand is a base value and an offset. And that's where the data is. Used for accessing data structures like records or arrays or lists. Giving the address. So they're the addressing modes that we have to consider. Now, looking at this code, so now I'm actually going to look at the question, and it says, what addressing modes are used? So they've made up some addressing modes. So you can't learn this because they could come back next. They could ask another question about this, and they could use exclamation mark to specify an addressing mode. Or they could have arse or something. I don't know. They could have something that specifies that addressing mode. So you can't learn this. They made these up. Little Man Computer only uses direct. Okay, where everything is effectively a variable. That's the only thing it can access, memory locations to grab data. Okay, so we have to assume that these could be any of those. But let's have a look at this because I think we can eliminate something straight away. We only have one piece of information in the operand for these two instructions. Okay, so it's these two lines, the ampersand and the hash symbol. Okay, but there's only one piece of information. So actually, index requires two, base and an offset. So we can actually discard that one straight away. So at least we haven't got 4 different things to look at. But we've got to tackle this in a logical way. All right, we can't just like randomly guess. Let's just do it. So let's assume. So I'm just going to run through and I'm going to work out. So I'm going to assume. I'm just going to pick the first two. That the ampersand. That wasn't a very good ampersand. That's better. Is direct. And we'll say that the hash. Let's just do immediate because it's just the first two. Hash is immediate. And I'm just going to interpret this code assuming those two addressing modes. Right, so I'm gonna do this first line. So on line 0, we load up something at 7. So I'm saying that's direct. So I'm saying ampersand is direct. So I'm saying that the 7 is the address of the data. So if we look at 7, it's got a 15 in there. So we're actually saying the accumulator gets 15 because that's what's at memory location 7. Then we're going to say add 4, and I've said immediate. So when we say immediate, we're saying that is the data. Add 4. So actually, when we add 4, the accumulator ends up with 19. We're told the output is 17. and the output is the next line. So output the accumulator. So it ain't that. So that, but it isn't that. Right. So, and I need to take this in a logical way. So what I could do next is I could say, oh, wait, hang on then. Let's assume the ampersand is, what should we go for? Immediate. I'm just going to put immediate. And the hash is indirect. So I'm going to try that. Okay, so let's try that. So we say load 7. So with the actual value, because it's immediate, so I've just gone down the list really. So I'm just going, right, number 7, load the value 7. So the accumulator ends up with 7 in it. And then we say, right, well, indirect. So let's try it. Add 4. Indirect, remember, that is the 4 represents the address. So let's go to 4. 4 has got a 6 in it. Because it's indirect, that is the address of the data. So the 6 is the address of the data. So let's go to 6. It's got a 10. So we're going to do add 10, which actually magically is the right answer. So we end up with 17. So actually what we're going to say for that, we're going to say that that is immediate addressing. Now you would hope that the exam board don't screw this up and make it possible to get 17 in another couple of ways. I'm just going to carry on and try the other addressing modes combinations. And then we're saying that that's indirect. Okay, so that was the answer. But let's just double check ourselves here. So we've done that one, and we've done that one and that one. So let's do direct and indirect. So, and obviously because we've got 3 values that can change, we're going to end up with lots of combinations. So I'm just going to check another couple. So I'm going to assume ampersand is direct again. And let's keep hash as indirect. Right, so assuming we're loading from location 17, we get the accumulator is 15. And when we add the indirect, so 4 has got 6 in it. 6 is the address of the data. 10, well, that gives us 25. So that is definitely not that. Okay, we knew it was that one. So let's try some more. Let's assume, I'm just double checking to make sure they haven't screwed it up. Okay, what have we got? Let's try hash is direct this time, and is immediate. Right, so we say load 7 because we're going to say and is immediate. So accumulator gets 7. Then we add 4 and we said direct. So what's at 4? Well, it's a 6. 6 and 7 is 13. So it's definitely not that. Okay, so I'm going to guess that the rest of them won't produce a 17. But it's a logical process. But depending on which way round you did it, I mean, luckily it was the second one I tried, but you could have had like 5 or 6 goes. There's quite a few combinations there that you could try. There's actually 8 combinations with 3. Remember, it's binary. There's 2 choices here. So it can either be an and or a hash. So, you know, there was a lot of work involved for getting 2 marks on that. But that's the process. Let me just stop recording that and then I can upload.